Well, I hope to share my sander with you. The belt sander I made a few years ago. Without really any projects at the time, I didn't have access to any projects on the internet. And I couldn't. And I did it based on the industries I knew with the adaptations so that I could really become a thing to do at home. Well, I had the help of a turner and from my father, we made a wooden instructor, and some metal parts and everything very simple, but I was able to help us. I'll start here with the engine and show that my engine is not actually connected directly. The first pulley is separated from the transmission system, where I use two pulleys, one larger, one that corresponds one-to-one with the one above, thus maintaining the original transmission. Insert. My engine is a low HP engine, and the high one is really too fast, it will burn the wood. Besides becoming dangerous, here I have a smaller pulley that I use for lighter, thinner, smaller woods. But when I need to polish glass, sand glass to polish it with this same sander, here's a system where I can move the pulley of the bearing. You will be able to align it with the lower pulley. The bearing system, it's a very good system. It's a special case here on this machine. It's a system that uses bearings, open and oscillating. Oscillating are those that have even two rows of spheres and not just one. And this gives a surge stability. The machine can oscillate. It can move a little the axis that it absorbs this difference, thus not breaking so easily. And here, in this case, this drum is full of grease. As I said, the open bearing requires maintenance once a year, twice a year. Depending on the use, it may not even require annual maintenance. In my case here, I have a pulley. The first pulley is large. It's a pulley almost the size of my hand. It's a pulley that, if I'm not mistaken, it must be around 180 millimeters. It's a very large pulley. Here's a key, an on-off switch, and a socket, a very rudimentary structure, a structure made of wood. And I wanted to draw your attention here ahead. Really, for this system, a system is what lengthens, is what stretches. The sandpaper, which is an important thing. In case I made a piece that has a good extension, it goes a good distance. It goes about 10-12 centimeters, allowing me to use sandpaper between 2 meters and 90 to 3 meters and 10. This measurement from tip to tip from one of the ends of the joint until it returns, making the entire circumference. That is I have about 1 meter and 20 plus the pulleys of distance. It has about 1 meter and 20, 1 meter and 10 of distance between axles. And here, going back to this part, here I have a 5/8 bar that drives the set. We turn it here and we tighten it, you can see that the part moves. And going back, look there. Here are two parallel pipes that form the rail, and another set of pipes that make up the car with the welded here on the axle, which brings up to the bearings and the pulley dart. Wow, I'm going to take the sandpaper off here, so you can see. Let me loosen up here, I'm going to take it off. I leave it side here so you can really see the sound. This second pulley is smaller than the first one. And this car, we turn it here and it moves there. This is kind of abandoned. My machine was practically thrown away for 4 years, so it's a little abandoned. I usually keep it here, clean, and even with graphite grease or powdered graphite, which is even better because it makes the car slide. This extension that I mentioned is very good because we can make good use of waste in my case. When the sandpaper cuts at the joint, I simply put it back and continue using it. This was my collector, where you put a bag here and another bag down here that collected the rest of the heavier residues that were left over. It's completely destroyed. I'm going to change this system too. An exhaust or suction system. I've seen some systems on the internet that I like. I don't have a carriage on my sander, just a table, which serves me well. For what I need, for what I use, I hope this can help someone. Just to emphasize again, don't connect this pulley directly to the engine. You'll have a loss. It will break the engine. It will ruin the engine. There's a lot of pressure when we stretch the sandpaper. It exerts a very large force of tension here. So don't do that. Use a bearing system, a transmission system, with a belt that preserves the assembly, even if it's a high-speed engine. In this case, you just have to